Jessica Pegula makes frustrations clear with brutal tennis schedule keeping her away from family and friends. Jessica Pegula is preparing for the first Grand Slam of the year, the Australian Open. She lost to Ukraine's Marta Kostyuk in the Brisbane International semifinals on Saturday, January 10th. Kostyuk took control early and beat Pegula in straight sets, 6-0, 6-3. The American, who looked tired, struggled to match Kostyuk's energy. As the Australian Open approaches, some have questioned Pegula's fitness. Addressing some of these concerns on the Changeover podcast, Pegula recently voiced her displeasure at the taxing schedule and short preseason break in the run-up to a Grand Slam. There's definitely not a long enough off-season. I think the 2-week events have exacerbated it a little bit because, previously, slams used to be 2 weeks long, and that was a lot. A lot is going on. So now we're going into these other big 1000s, and now they're also 2 weeks, said Pegula. So you're going 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and then into a slam 2 weeks. Mentally, it's really tough. And I think that, along with that, and then obviously not having a long off-season, it just accumulates. And then after like a couple of years of playing that, it accumulates. You kind of hit your threshold. And I felt this was a lot, Pegula added. Some people don't understand tennis. It's not that I love it and am thankful for it, but it doesn't exactly contribute to a healthy life. You know what I mean? Like you're in a lot of isolation, flying all over the world. You miss every family event, every friend event, like how many weddings I've missed from friends that I grew up with, she concluded. Jessica Pegula withdraws from the Adelaide International 2026. Both Jessica Pegula and Marta Kostyuk have withdrawn from the WTA 500 Adelaide International to focus on the Australian Open. On Sunday, January 11th, Pegula wrote on her Instagram story, "I'm sorry to be missing Adelaide International this year. Wishing the event and everyone there all the best." The tournament's official X handle also put out a tweet that read, Jessica Pegula and Marta Kostyuk have withdrawn from the Adelaide International due to scheduling changes. Also read, Racism real reason why Coco Gauff doesn't get credit for her tennis IQ. Insider makes bold claim. Complete list of ATP and WTA winners. Medvedev and Sabalenka set the pace in first tournament of 2026 Australian swing. Poland Prime Minister has epic reaction after IGA Swiatek. Hubert Hurkacz leads stunning United Cup 2026 title win. College Sports Network has you covered with the latest news, analysis, insights, and trending stories in college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, and college baseball. Jessica Pegula makes frustrations clear with brutal tennis schedule keeping her away from family and friends. In the world of professional tennis, the spotlight often shines brightest on the victories. The Grand Slam titles, the epic comebacks, the moments of glory under the sun-drenched stadium lights. But behind every forehand that cuts through the air with surgical precision and every baseline rally that leaves the crowd gasping, there is a human being navigating the relentless grind of the tour. For Jessica Pegula, this human being is caught in a constant push and pull, the desire to reach the pinnacle of her sport, and the aching need to connect with the people who matter most, her family and friends. Pegula, now a fixture in the upper echelons of women's tennis, has made her frustrations unmistakably clear. The brutal schedule of professional tennis, with its back-to-back tournaments spanning continents and time zones, has begun to take its toll, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. She is a top-tier athlete, yes, but she is also a daughter, a sister, and a friend who misses birthdays, anniversaries, and quiet dinners at home. The WTA calendar is notorious for its punishing pace. For players like Pegula, the season is an unbroken marathon stretching from the sun-baked courts of Australia in January to the clay-dusted arenas of Europe in May, and onward to the hard courts of North America in the sweltering summer months. Between the mandatory tournaments and the optional ones needed to maintain or improve rankings, there is scarcely a week that passes without a flight, a press conference, a practice session, and a match that can last hours under unforgiving conditions. Pegula has openly acknowledged that this schedule leaves her little room for personal life. "I feel like I'm constantly choosing between tennis and being with the people I love," she admitted in a candid interview. It's a sentiment that resonates with many professional athletes, yet it is rarely expressed with such raw honesty. While social media often showcases the glamorous side of tennis, luxury hotels, picturesque courts, and thrilling victories, it rarely captures the loneliness that comes from being thousands of miles away from home week after week. For Pegula, the frustration is compounded by the expectations that come with her ranking and potential. Fans, sponsors, and media outlets all have a stake in her performance, often expecting consistency at the highest level. But consistency in professional sports does not come without sacrifice. The preparation alone is grueling, hours spent on strength and conditioning, refining technique, and studying opponents' tendencies. The mental strain is equally demanding, requiring an athlete to maintain focus and composure while navigating the pressures of competition. Family connections, however, cannot be maintained through strength and conditioning drills. Pegula's parents, both deeply involved in sports and business, have always encouraged her ambitions, but even their support cannot fill the gaps left by missed family gatherings and phone calls. "I try to stay in touch," she says, "but sometimes a text or a quick call just isn't enough. You miss the little things, like a sister's laughter or a friend's late-night joke, that make life feel full." This duality, the public triumph and private sacrifice, is a recurring theme in Pegula's career. Her approach to tennis is meticulous and disciplined, reflecting years of hard work and the backing of a supportive network. Yet the cracks show in moments of vulnerability, when she openly discusses the emotional cost of her relentless schedule. For her, tennis is not just a career, it is a lifestyle that demands trade-offs, often at the expense of relationships that define a sense of normalcy and emotional well-being. Pegula's frustration is not rooted in a lack of passion for the sport, far from it. She thrives on competition and cherishes the adrenaline of match play. The issue lies in the imbalance that the sport structure imposes. Unlike team sports, where off-seasons provide extended periods for recovery and family time, tennis is inherently nomadic. There is no locker room camaraderie to soften the isolation, no city-bound home base where friendships can be nurtured outside of practice sessions. Instead, the tour offers temporary havens in hotels and tournament facilities, where interactions are often transactional and fleeting.